Today we are opening the floodgates on an absolute torrent of AI updates published exclusively on December 1st, 2025. This isn't just incremental news. We're tracking everything from a new U.S. national mission and global governance frameworks all the way down to next-gen chips and a major ban on generative chatbots.
It truly is a high-volume day. Our mission is your shortcut. An essential briefing on who is building what new capabilities have emerged, and crucially, what rules the world is setting to manage it all, especially when it comes to the autonomous AI agent.
We begin, as always, with the cutting edge, the research and new models that define what's technologically possible today. NVIDIA is making waves with the big push into open-source AI, revealing new models at the NeuralPS conference. The flagship release is DRive Alpamayor 1.
Right, and this is a specialized large vision language action model, a VLA. It's intended for one of the most critical applications there is, autonomous driving.
And NVIDIA is positioning this as the first open industry-scale reasoning model for AV planning, correct?
That's the claim, yes.
Why does the open part matter so much here?
Yeah. Well, because it forces a conversation about transparency versus safety in these really high-stakes systems. This open release earned it a high ranking on the industry's openness index, but the real goal is accelerating the whole ecosystem.
I see. So if the underlying logic is open, anyone can audit it. Regulators, competitors.
Exactly. It's a huge step for adoption, even if it brings all the complexities of open-source risk into a safety-critical environment.
Speaking of risk, a piece of research published today is a pretty stark warning about immediate economic threats. Anthropic released a study showing their models and competitors like GPT-5 can become, well, effective cybercriminals.
Yes, and this is highly specific. They used a new benchmark called Stonebench to test these frontier models. They tested Claude Opus 4.5, Sonnet 4.5 on simulated blockchain smart contracts. The result was sobering.
What happened?
The AI agent successfully found and then developed exploits in those contracts.
So the first AI cybercriminal mastermind is officially on the payroll, simulated or not. What was the quantifiable damage?
The simulated exploits were valued at a collective $4.6 million.
Wow.
Yeah. It just highlights that these models, even without any malicious intent, have reached a level of reasoning that translates directly into immediate quantifiable economic risks.
It's not theoretical anymore.
Not at all. The cost of failure is measurable in millions.
That sets a perfect context for our last research item, which is all about unlocking a massive and often ignored data source video. 12 Labs launched its Marengo 3.0 video foundation model.
This is significant. I mean, by some estimates, something like 90% of all digitized data is video.
Yeah.
And until now, understanding that data has been computationally brutal.
So what does Marengo 3.0 do differently?
It's designed to understand video content holistically, so connecting dialogue, gestures, movement, all across long time frames. And it's now available on Amazon Bedrock.
How long are we talking?
It supports videos up to 4 hours long in 36 languages.
Yes.
4 hours. And the jump in capability promises huge efficiency gains. They're reporting a 50% reduction in video storage costs and 2 times faster indexing. This makes 4 hours of video as searchable as a text document.
The power of these models is staggering, but that power requires colossal infrastructure. Let's shift our focus to the physical constraints that define the AI boom. And we're starting with an almost impossible partnership in the cloud.
What's fascinating here is seeing arch rivals put competition aside to address a common infrastructure problem. AWS and Google Cloud announced a jointly built networking solution. It's called AWS Interconnect, and a new open specification.
Walk us through the mechanism here. Why did they need to collaborate?
Because connecting workloads across different cloud environments, multi-cloud, is notoriously complex. It creates massive data egress costs and latency.
Right.
This joint solution simplifies all of that. It gives you a direct, high-speed way to link databases or applications in minutes, not weeks of complex configuration.
A huge reduction in friction, then, for any large enterprise.
A massive one.
And speaking of internal infrastructure, Google continues to double down on its custom silicon. They unveiled performance specs for their newest tensor processing unit, the TPU V7. It's codenamed Ironwood.
Right, and Ironwood is optimized for inference.
So running a trained model, not training it.
Exactly. It's not just about training the giant models anymore. It's about making those models cheap and fast for every single user query, every search, every generative response.
What's the number that defines this generation of chip?
The chip boasts a peak performance rate of 4,614 teraflops per second, and it's designed for massive clusters, up to 9,216 chips at once. This huge focus on inference efficiency tells you Alphabet is preparing for a world where every single user interaction relies on a deeply customized, efficient model.
That kind of hardware race leads directly to market consolidation.
Yeah.
Sources indicate Marvell is in advanced discussions to acquire the chip startup Celestial AI.
Yes, in a multi-billion-dollar deal. Celestial AI was valued at $2.5 billion earlier this year, and this cash and stock deal is expected to top $5 billion.
A huge premium.
A huge premium. And it signals aggressive consolidation in the specialized AI accelerator market. Big players like Marvell see this proprietary tech as a must-have to compete with the hyperscalers like Google or specials like NVIDIA. They're paying to secure that capability now.
And the ultimate bottleneck for all this new silicon is, of course, power. An analysis by Algorithm Watch warns that Europe's AI boom could severely overburden its electricity grids.
This moves beyond simple economics into really industrial policy. The analysis projects an 11-fold increase in power usage by AI data centers between 2023 and 2030, potentially hitting 550 terawatt hours annually in Europe.
That's a staggering amount of energy. What is the immediate real-world impact of hitting that hard physical limit?
We're already seeing it. In key industrial hubs like Frankfurt, Germany, approximately 20% of planned data center projects are either delayed or canceled.
Just because there's not enough power.
The local grids simply cannot guarantee sufficient power capacity. This is a national security and economic risk, and it forces serious policy decisions across the continent.
That massive power consumption leads us directly to our next theme: control. As we hand more power to these systems, the enterprise conversation shifts instantly to governance. So let's look at the tools companies are deploying to maintain control.
This is all about managing mission-critical complexity. Databricks introduced the AI Gateway, also known as the Mosaic AI Gateway, to bring some order to this chaos.
Tell me what that means for, say, the average chief information officer. Is this essentially a central API for all generative AI use?
That's exactly right. It's a unified control plane to govern, monitor, and scale Gen AI usage, regardless of the underlying model, OpenAI, Meta, open source, whatever. And critically, it streamlines compliance by enforcing guardrails. Things like filtering personally identifiable information, or PII.
Things like addresses, credit card numbers.
Exactly. Filtering that before data even hits the model.
And for production reliability, what happens if the primary provider goes down or gets too expensive?
The gateway handles that with provider fallback logic.
Oh,
The
yeah.
company can instantly flip the switch to Model B without disrupting the user or the application,
So true production-grade reliability.
which is essential when your business workflows depend on these models.
While Databricks focuses on organizational control, Anthropic is giving more granular control back to the specific workflow. Claude Opus 4.5 is now available via Relevance AI, and it features a new effort parameter.
This is a really nuanced feature, and it's aimed squarely at complex workflow orchestration. The effort parameter gives users unprecedented control over token usage and response depth.
Okay, so for a simple task, you can set it to low effort for speed and cost savings.
Precisely. And for complex legal analysis, you ramp up the effort for maximum accuracy and depth.
So it's fundamentally a cost and quality optimization tool. You're moving away from the traditional black box model call.
Exactly right. And continuing on that theme of enterprise efficiency, Amazon Web Services is leveraging agentic AI to tackle one of the biggest headaches in IT legacy modernization.
They've enhanced their Transform service with new agentic AI capabilities. What kind of speed gains are we talking about here?
This enhancement automates the modernization of legacy code, including old systems built on .NET and SQL Server. By using AI agents to essentially rewrite and refactor the code automatically, AWS claims it can accelerate these projects up to 5 times faster.
That is a transformative speed injection for a big bank or insurer.
Absolutely.
Now we move to the highest level of systemic change: policy, governance, and the regulatory environment. Starting in the U.S., President Trump issued an executive order launching the Genesis mission.
This is a massive multi-agency initiative. It's being led by the Department of Energy, or DOE, and the executive order explicitly frames the mission as comparable in urgency and ambition to the Manhattan Project.
Wow. A national effort to accelerate AI innovation for energy, science, and national security.
That's the goal.
What are the immediate deadlines for this mission?
The DOE is tasked with establishing the American Science and Security Platform, with initial capability goals meaning tangible progress, not just planning set within 270 days.
That timeline signals extreme urgency.
It does.
On the intellectual property front, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office The USPTO provided revised inventorship guidance for AI-assisted inventions.
This clarifies a really complex area of law. The guidance rescinds prior, confusing rules and reaffirms a core legal principle. Only a natural person can be an inventor. It defines AI as a tool-like software or a calculator and confirms that conception requires a specific, settled idea from a human mind.
So that sounds like a relief for IT lawyers.
Yeah.
Using an AI tool doesn't invalidate a patent.
It standardizes the definition. The AI is the assistant, not the creator. The human is still at the heart of invention.
This push toward human control is also evident in the market. Meta made a massive global policy decision on AI agents. They are banning autonomous AI chatbots on the WhatsApp Business API.
This policy, effective January 15, 2026, targets third-party LLM agents where the AI is the primary functionality offering free-form replies. And if we link this back to that Anthropic research we discussed, this is Meta reasserting strict control over safety, liability, and privacy.
So this isn't just a ban. It sounds like Meta is defining a boundary for how AI can operate in customer-facing roles.
It is. They're forcing businesses into an agent assist model. The AI can work behind the scenes, drafting responses, summarizing threads.
But a human have to approve it.
The human must remain the final editor, reinserting those necessary legal and safety checks before a message is sent. They're retreating from full autonomy to ensure governance.
That need for control seems to be hitting every major player. Internal pressure is now forcing the market leader, OpenAI, to pivot its entire strategy. CEO Sam Altman has declared a code red internally.
Right, and this signals a major competitive inflection point. The internal memo directly cited intense competition, especially from rivals like Google's Gemini 3.0. The strategy shift involves diverting immediate resources to rapidly improve the performance of ChatGPT's models.
What's being delayed to fuel this code red?
Major initiatives, including their advertising push, are being temporarily sidelined.
That tells you the urgency is extreme.
It is. Maintaining model parity is now prioritized over all other expansion strategies, even with their 800 million plus users.
To help companies navigate all this, the World Economic Forum, working with Capgemini, published a new governance framework today.
And this is intended as a crucial global standard. It provides a structured framework for organizations to responsibly manage AI agents. It's based on 4 pillars: classification, evaluation, risk assessment, and progressive governance. It's a blueprint for large enterprises to avoid the kind of unchecked deployment that creates major risk.
Let's round out our deep dive by looking at how AI is being deployed and scaled across the enterprise, starting with a massive training collaboration. Accenture and OpenAI announced a partnership to train tens of thousands of Accenture professionals.
This is Accenture positioning itself as an OpenAI provider for its global clients. Training that many people on ChatGPT Enterprise gives them the workforce to embed this technology across many industries at once. It's a massive validation stamp for ChatGPT Enterprise as a corporate platform.
But OpenAI isn't just partnering with system integrators. They are investing directly into enterprises. They acquired an ownership stake in Thrive Holdings, a private capital firm.
This move effectively positions OpenAI as a vertically integrated solution provider. They plan to embed their tech and their engineers directly into Thrive's portfolio companies, starting with B2B sectors like accounting and IT services.
Wait, if they're partnering with Accenture to scale, but also taking ownership stakes to bypass integrators, isn't that a strategic contradiction?
I think it just highlights a two-pronged growth strategy. Partnering with Accenture provides immediate wide distribution. Investing in Thrive provides deep, guaranteed, specialized penetration into high-value B2B segments.
So they're securing market share from the outside in and the inside out simultaneously.
That's a great way to put it.
Finally, a major leadership shift signals a new direction for a tech giant, often criticized for being slow in the AI race. Apple announced that AI chief John Giannandrea is retiring in spring 2026, and he'll be succeeded by Amar Subramanya.
And Subramanya brings serious veteran credentials. He's a former corporate VP of AI at Microsoft and a Google veteran. This is a significant change, and it signals a renewed, aggressive focus on Apple's AI strategy. Bringing in a leader with deep expertise from 2 of the world's top AI companies suggests an immediate acceleration is planned for Siri.
That was an incredibly dense period of innovation. Let's distill this into actionable takeaways for you for the tools you can use today.
First, if you are managing enterprise-level generative AI, look closely at the Databricks AI Gateway architecture. Centralized governance, compliance enforcement, and that critical PII filtering should be a top priority for any organization scaling this tech.
Second, if your business is sitting on massive video data sets, and statistically it probably is, explore the 12 Labs Marengo 3.0 model on Amazon Bedrock. The ability to analyze 4 hours of video in 36 languages fundamentally changes the game for video search.
Now for the numbers of the day, which encapsulate the competing pressures of capability and constraint. Our first number is 550 terawatt hours. That's the projected annual power consumption for Europe's AI data centers by 2030, an 11-fold increase from 2023. That is the hard reality of this boom.
And our second number is 4,614 TFLOPs. The peak computational performance of Google's upcoming TPU v7 Ironwood chip, designed to accelerate AI inference and drive down the cost of fast, personalized AI experiences.
So today we saw one of the world's largest messaging platforms ban autonomous AI agents, forcing a retreat to human-in-the-loop governance. And at the same time, we saw research showing AI agents achieving profitable cyber exploits worth millions. This raises a critical question. As these agents become more competent and ubiquitous, are the new human governance frameworks like the WEF standard or the USPTO rules sufficient to manage systems that can now operate autonomously and maliciously at scale? Or will market leaders just keep retreating from full autonomy to manage liability? The race is no longer just about capability, it's about whether governance can keep pace with competence.